Welcome to Chat English, where we teach you the English you actually use. Today, we are building a panic button system for your phone's keyboard. You are at your desk, and your phone buzzes. A native speaker just texted you, "Got a sec to chat?" Suddenly, your mind goes completely blank. You stare at the screen, sweating, taking 10 minutes to write one sentence.
I used to do exactly this. I would literally turn on airplane mode just so they couldn't see me typing and deleting, "Yes, I have a second," 50 times.
By the end of this episode, you will have 9 simple texting habits to buy time, stop translating, and reply naturally in under 30 seconds. So Dave, let us talk about why that moment is so terrifying. When we read English in a book or watch a video, we feel fine, but a text message feels completely different.
It feels like a test, and there's a ticking clock. When you see that little bubble on the screen with the 3 dots moving, you know they're waiting for you. You know they're looking at their phone right now.
Exactly. It's the pressure of real-time communication. You're trying to remember grammar rules, translate from your native language, and type correctly all at the same time. That pressure causes us to write very stiff, unnatural sentences.
Yes, because when we panic, we go back to our textbook English. Instead of saying something casual, we write something that sounds like a legal contract.
And that brings us to our core philosophy for today. Delaying politely is better than rushing poorly.
Delaying politely is better than rushing poorly. I love that. But how do we delay without seeming rude? If someone texts me, "Got a sec to chat?" I feel like I have to answer right that second.
You do need to acknowledge them, but you do not need to have a full conversation immediately. We have divided our 9 habits into 3 blocks. Block A is all about buying time. Let us start with habit number 1, the emoji buffer.
The emoji buffer? Just sending a little picture? Is that enough of an answer?
It is the perfect answer when you're panicked. If someone sends you a message that requires a long answer, or if you just need a moment to breathe and think about your English grammar, do not start typing words. Just send one emoji immediately.
Like a thumbs up emoji?
A thumbs up is great, or the eyes emoji, which means "I'm looking at this," or even a simple red heart if it's a nice message from a friend.
Oh, I see. By sending the emoji, I'm telling them I received your message and I'm here.
Exactly. It instantly turns off the ticking clock. The other person knows you saw it, and you just bought yourself 3 to 5 minutes of total peace to draft your actual reply in your head. You don't have to rush anymore.
That's such a relief. I always thought I had to type my words instantly. The emoji buffer gives me permission to breathe.
It's a lifesaver. But sometimes you need more than an emoji. You might need to make them wait an hour or two. That's habit number 2, the copy-paste delay.
The copy-paste delay. So this is a phrase we just keep ready in our brains?
Yes, or literally keep it in the Notes app on your phone so you can copy and paste it without thinking. The phrase is, "Give me just a sec."
Give me just a sec. Wait, what is a sec?
It's short for second. Give me just a second. But native speakers almost always shorten it in text messages. We say, "Give me a sec," or "Give me just a sec."
That sounds so natural. Give me just a sec. It's much better than saying, "Please wait for one moment while I finish my task."
Exactly. If you get a message at work from a colleague saying, "Got a sec to chat?" and you're busy or just nervous, you reply, "Give me just a sec." It's friendly, it's fast, and it stops the conversation so you can prepare yourself.
Are there other phrases like this we can use? What if a second isn't enough time?
A great alternative is "in the middle of something."
In the middle of something. I like that. It means I'm busy, but it doesn't sound angry.
Right. If you want to be very natural, you can combine them. In the middle of something, give me a sec. I want everyone listening to open their phone's Notes app right now and type "Give me just a sec." Keep it there for emergencies.
I'm adding it to my phone right now. This takes away so much anxiety. But Jessica, what if the person doesn't want to text? What if they text me, "Can I call you real quick?" Phone calls in English are terrifying for learners.
Phone calls without preparation are the ultimate panic moment. That's why habit number 3 is the format switch. You take control of how the conversation happens.
how do we do that without sounding rude? If my boss or a new English-speaking friend says, "Can I call?" is it rude to say no?
It is not rude if you offer an alternative and blame your environment. The perfect habit here is replying with, "Bit noisy here, can we text?"
Bit noisy here. Can we text? Ugh, that is brilliant. You're blaming the noise, not your English skills.
Exactly. You are protecting your boundaries. Texting gives you time to translate, look up words, and think. A phone call strips all of that away. So if you are not ready for a live phone call, you just type, "Bit noisy here, can we text?"
What if I'm sitting alone in a totally silent room?
They do not know that. You might be at a coffee shop or on a train or in an open office. It's a completely normal social excuse in English culture. It's polite, it sets a boundary, and it moves the conversation back to a text message where you are safe.
That is a massive confidence booster. Just knowing I have the power to say, can we text, makes me feel in control.
That's the whole goal of Block A. The emoji buffer, the copy-paste delay, and the format switch give you control over time. You are no longer rushing poorly.
Okay, so now we have bought ourselves some time. We're calm, we're not sweating anymore. What happens next?
Now we move to Block B, which is all about drafting your actual message, and we're going to use some great technology to help us. Habit number 4 is the voice-to-text draft.
Voice to text? You mean pressing the little microphone button on the keyboard and speaking my message?
Yes, but you do not send the audio message. You let the phone type out your words.
I don't know about this, Jessica. My pronunciation is not perfect. The phone always makes mistakes when I speak English into it.
That is a common fear, but the technology on our phones is incredibly smart now. It understands most accents very well. But the real reason we do this is not for speed. We do it to fix your grammar tone.
How does speaking fix my grammar tone?
Because when learners type, they use textbook grammar. They think about the rules of writing. But text messaging is not writing. Text messaging is just talking with your fingers. When you speak your idea out loud to your phone, you use a much more casual, natural vocabulary.
Oh, I see. If I'm typing, I might slowly write, I'm going to arrive at the restaurant in 10 minutes, but if I just push the microphone and talk, I will naturally say, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Exactly. Voice to text forces you to use your speaking brain instead of your writing brain. It makes your text sound like a real person. You just speak it, look at what the phone typed, fix any small spelling mistakes, and hit send.
That makes total sense. Texting is talking with your fingers. I love that rule. But what if I'm writing an important text, maybe to a manager or a client, and I want to make sure that English is absolutely perfect?
If these chat habits are helping you feel more confident, please hit the subscribe button so you never miss a lesson. Now, for those important messages, we use habit number 5, the AI tone check.
Talking to an AI like ChatGPT? I use AI to translate words sometimes, but the sentences it gives me always sound very robotic and fake.
That's because most people use the wrong prompt. They ask the AI to translate this, or they say, "Write a message for me." If you ask AI to write it for you, it will sound like a robot. The habit here is writing your own draft first and then using a very specific question to check it.
What is this specific question?
You open your AI app, you paste your draft, and you ask, "Is this text too formal? Make it casual."
Is this text too formal? Make it casual. Why those exact words?
Because the number one mistake English learners make in text messages is sounding too formal. If you ask the AI to make it casual, it will strip away all the stiff, heavy textbook words and give you how a native speaker actually texts.
That makes total sense. Texting is talking with your fingers. I love that rule. But what if I'm writing an important text, maybe to a manager or a client, and I want to make sure the English is absolutely perfect?
If these chat habits are helping you feel more confident, please hit the subscribe button so you never miss a lesson. Now, for those important messages, we use habit number 5, the AI tone check.
Talking to an AI like ChatGPT? I use AI to translate words sometimes, but the sentences it gives me always sound very robotic and fake.
That's because most people use the wrong prompt. They ask the AI to translate this, or they say, write a message for me. If you ask AI to write it for you, it will sound like a robot. The habit here is writing your own draft first and then using a very specific question to check it.
What is this specific question?
You open your AI app, you paste your draft, and you ask, is this text too formal? Make it casual.
Is this text too formal? Make it casual. Why those exact words?
Because the number one mistake English learners make in text messages is sounding too formal. If you ask the AI to make it casual, it will strip away all the stiff, heavy textbook words and give you how a native speaker actually texts.
That would have saved me so much embarrassment. I remember my boss texted me to ask if I wanted to join him for a quick lunch. I was so nervous about my English that I typed my answer, ran it through a basic translator, and sent, I am available to converse and consume food with you.
Oh no, you sent that to your boss?
Yes, he thought I was joking, thank goodness, but I was totally serious. I wanted to sound professional.
If you had used the AI tone check and asked, is this text too formal? Make it casual, the AI would have looked at, I am available to converse and consume food, and changed it to something like, sounds great, I'd love to join you.
That specific prompt is a game changer. Is this text too formal? Make it casual. Everyone should write that down.
It really is like having a native speaking friend in your pocket to double check your work. Now, habit number 6 is a grammar trick that instantly makes you sound like a native texter. It's called drop the pronoun.
Drop the pronoun, like dropping the words I, he, she, or they.
Exactly. In traditional English classes, we learn that every sentence must have a subject and a verb. We learn present continuous grammar like, I am walking to the store.
Yes, subject, I, verb, am walking. That is rule number 1.
But in casual text messaging, native speakers constantly drop the subject pronoun and the be verb. We just delete them completely.
Wait, we can just delete I am? Is that allowed?
In a test? No. In a text message, yes, absolutely. Instead of typing, I am looking at it now, you just type, looking at it now.
Looking at it now. Wow, that feels almost illegal to say, but it sounds so fast and natural.
It is how everyone texts. Let us practice. Dave, if I text you and ask where you are, and you want to say, I am on my way, how do you use the drop the pronoun habit?
I just delete the pronoun and the verb, so instead of I am on my way, I just type on my way.
Perfect. What if you want to tell a friend, I am running late?
I drop the I am and just say running late.
Exactly. What about I am leaving the house?
Just leaving the house. This is so much easier. It actually means I have to type less English.
That is the beautiful secret of casual chat English. Doing less is often more natural. You do not need perfect full sentences. You just need to convey the action. Dropping the pronoun removes the pressure to build a perfect grammatical structure.
I am definitely going to use that. Habit 6 is my favorite so far. Dropping pronouns makes me feel like a texting master. So we've bought our time, we've drafted our message, we dropped our pronouns, we are ready to send.
Yes, we are moving to block C, the sending habits, and habit number 7 might shock you. It is the no period rule.
The no period rule. A period is the little dot at the end of a sentence, right?
Yes, the punctuation mark that ends a sentence. The rule is, do not use a period at the end of a short text message.
Jessica, my English teachers are going to be so angry with you. A period is correct punctuation. Why can't I use it?
Because text messaging has its own cultural rules. When you send a very short message, like 3 or 4 words, putting a period at the end makes you look angry or passive-aggressive to a native speaker.
Are you serious? A little dot makes me look angry?
I am completely serious. Imagine I text you a funny joke, and I reply with the words, that is funny, with a period at the end. That is funny. It sounds serious, cold, and a little bit annoyed.
Oh wow, it does sound cold, like a robot who is not actually laughing.
Exactly. Now imagine I reply with, "That is funny," with no period at all, or maybe an exclamation mark. It feels light, casual, and friendly.
This explains so much. I always used perfect punctuation in my texts because I want to show that my English is good. I sent a message to my coworker last week. He asked if I could send him a file, and I replied, "Sounds good," with a period at the end. He came to my desk later and asked if I was mad at him.
Yes, that period at the end of "sounds good" was the problem. In text culture, the end of the message itself acts as the period. The white bubble is the end of the thought. You do not need to add the dot.
So if I say "on my way," no period. If I say "give me a sec," no period.
Exactly. If you are writing a very long paragraph, yes, use periods between your sentences so people can read it. But for the very last sentence or for short, quick replies, drop the period. It instantly makes you feel warmer and friendlier.
I am learning so much about culture today. Texting is like a completely different language. Okay, what is habit number 8?
Habit number 8 is how you keep a conversation alive without panicking. It's the WBU reflex.
WBU. Is that an acronym? What does it stand for?
It stands for What About You? WBU.
Ah, what about you? I've seen native speakers type those 3 letters before. WBU.
Yes, one of the biggest problems learners face is that their conversations die very quickly. A native speaker asks, "How was your weekend?" And the learner spends 10 minutes writing, "My weekend was very good. I watched a movie." And then they hit send.
And then the conversation stops because there's nothing else to say. I do that all the time. I answer the question and then I don't know what to do next.
Think of a text conversation like a game of tennis. When they ask you a question, they hit the ball over the net to you. When you answer the question, you're just holding the ball. You have to hit it back. And the easiest way to hit the tennis ball back is the WBU reflex.
So I answer their question and then I just type WBU at the end?
Yes, my weekend was great. I watched a movie. WBU? It takes 2 seconds to type, it requires 0 grammar knowledge, and it instantly throws the ball back over the net. Now the native speaker has to talk, and you can relax.
That is so simple. WBU. What about you? It works for almost everything. I'm eating a sandwich for lunch. WBU. I'm feeling tired today. WBU.
Exactly. It shows that you are interested in them. It makes you a great conversationalist. When you build the reflex to add WBU to your answers, you never have to worry about awkward silences or dead-end texts again. You're keeping the rhythm of the game alive.
I love the tennis metaphor. I am going to be hitting that WBU ball back over the net all day. We have one habit left, Jessica. Habit number 9.
Habit number 9 is a long-term strategy, but it is incredibly powerful. It is called screenshot stealing.
Screenshot stealing. That sounds a little bit criminal. Are we stealing things from our friends?
We are stealing their vocabulary. If you are in a group chat on WhatsApp or Discord or an app with native English speakers, do not just read the messages and close the app. Pay attention to the exact phrases they use to react to things. When you see a cool, casual phrase, take a screenshot of it.
Oh, like building a personal dictionary of real-life English.
Exactly. Textbooks teach you to say, "I am very busy," but maybe in your group chat you notice that your native speaker friends always say, "I'm slammed today," or "I'm swamped."
Swamped. I learned that word in a group chat. Someone said I'm completely swamped this week and I didn't know what it meant. I thought it had something to do with a swamp like water and crocodiles.
That is a perfect example of natural confusion. Swamped just means you have too much work. It means you are drowning in work.
When I finally realized what it meant, I took a mental note, but taking a screenshot is much smarter.
You take a screenshot and then later you write those phrases down in your notes. You're stealing the most natural, up-to-date English directly from the people you talk to. It's the best study guide in the world, and it's completely free.
And you know it is correct because a native speaker just used it in a real situation. You don't have to guess if it's natural.
Exactly. Screenshot stealing allows you to copy their style. If they use a certain emoji, you steal it. If they use a phrase like "sounds like a plan," you steal it. Before you know it, you're texting exactly like a local.
I feel so empowered. We just covered 9 incredible tools. I don't think I will ever panic at a text message again.
Let's do a quick review so everyone remembers the system. Block A is to buy time. You use the emoji buffer, the copy-paste delay, like give me just a sec, or the format switch to ask if you can text instead of call.
Then block B is for drafting. We use voice to text to sound natural. We use the specific AI prompt, is this too formal, make it casual, and we drop our pronouns to sound fast, like on my way.
And finally, block C is for sending. We remember the no period rules so we don't look angry. We use the WBU reflex to bounce the conversation back, and we use screenshot stealing to learn new phrases from our friends.
That is a complete survival guide. But Jessica, a warning for our listeners. Do not try to memorize all 9 of these habits today. That's too much pressure.
That is a very important warning. You do not need to do all 9 things at once. We want you to start small. Just save one buy time phrase in your Notes app right now. Just save, give me a sec. That alone will change how you feel when your phone buzzes.
I agree. Start small. You're already communicating in a second language, which is amazing. You're already a great communicator. These habits just help you show your true personality.
Well, everyone, we hope you liked these chat habits. We want to hear from you now. Please leave a comment below. Tell us, which of these 9 chat habits are you going to use today? Or tell us, what is the longest you've ever waited to reply to an English text because you were nervous? Let's laugh about it together.
I can't wait to read the comments. I know someone out there has waited 3 days to reply to a simple hello. We love reading your stories. It makes us feel like a real community.
And remember, please subscribe to Chat English and give this episode a like if it helped you today. Share it with your friends who are also learning English. Let's help everyone text with confidence.
Thank you so much for listening to us today. You're all doing a great job on your English journey. Yes, you are.
Keep practicing, don't overthink it, and stay curious. We'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.